However, it's great to see that this isn't quite dead yet, and you've still got a all-American
Run wild, brother!
Corvette coming out.
See, it's not just a car, it's a total image.
Jordan, it looks like General Motors has just released the new Corvette ZR1, and she's a banger. Going against all the trends of hybrid and EVs.
What?
What on earth is going on? Look, the speculation it was going to be a hybrid all-wheel drive, and they've come out with a rear-wheel drive, and she's basically all boost. I've got no issue with having an engine in it with hybrid technology. The benefits are there, but one thing about not having it all that stuff in the car, you're going to end up with a lighter machine, aren't you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the fact it's rear-wheel drive, yeah, exactly. No hybrid, you're going to pull some weight out. But I don't think this is a light car, though.
The word was the C8 was always going to end up with this engine. This is how a two-door sports car should be. It should be engine behind you, heaps of vision out the front, unlike a Mustang where you've just got like 2 kilometers of bonnet.
Speedboat.
And you've got a speedboat, and all you got in the back is wheel spin.
Yeah, I mean, having a mid-engine car massively helps with traction.
There is no way you'd put 1,000 horsepower up front in a car like that. It just would go nowhere.
Yeah, but when you look at it, like,
It'd be like, you don't want to be like, Geordie, it'd be like a HSV GTS with a pulley upgrade and a tune, just wheel spin for days. So this engine, Geordie, is, it's dubbed the LT7. I think you've got some specs there on. I think it's what, 5.5 litre?
5.5 litre, makes 1,064 horses, 828 foot-pounds at 6,000, max power at 7, and it revs to 8. In a non-board equals peak, that is 793 kilowatts and a whopping 1,122 newton meters.
Impressive. Very nice.
Yeah, it's got twin 76mm turbos on it. Are they measuring them how we measure them? Because that's got a bit of scope for some tuning.
The engineers said the car isn't lazy at all. Like, basically, they're trying to say it drives like an NA. I don't know how you believe that. It drives like an NA, but they're saying there's no lag. A twin 76mm turbo setup. They said the goal of that car, the engineer, I watched the video, he goes, our goal was to make 850 horsepower. Apparently the first time they set it up on the engine dyno, it made 850 on gate pressure.
Boy.
And they're like,
yeah.
Well, let's just make a bit more, and they just settled on that horsepower figure. It peaks as high as 24 pounds boost.
Well, that's probably why it's not lazy. It'd come on nice, and then they'd obviously taper it off. But have you seen the intercoolers and everything so well designed, and then they've gone into they've gone and got the most high quality hose clamps you've ever seen on those
They've got a couple of the old
turbo.
school worm drive, whatever you call them, clamps, and it just...
I've already seen people saying this car's rubbish, and you go, yeah, it's rubbish. It hasn't even been manufactured yet.
It's the most powerful V8 ever produced by a North American car company.
The biggest question is though, can it limiter like the old LS1?
Is it going to sound like the typical 5.7 on just twin externals down the track?
5.7 helicopter.
Everyone's just talking about drag times. Do they realise these Corvettes, they're designed to go around the track? It says here it's got carbon ceramic, 400mm front brakes, 390 on the rear. The aero gives up to 1,200 pounds of downforce.
You know what's great? Everyone's talking about, you know, the demise of ICE, and you see a lot of stories about some of these companies, they're putting more money into ICE development, but I think a lot of that is smoke and mirrors. Like, they might be putting more money in ICE development, but they're also putting a chunk more money into hybrid and electric stuff. However, it's great to see that this isn't quite dead yet, and you've still got a all-American
Run wild, brother!
Corvette coming out.
See, it's not just a car, it's a total image.
I've seen a few other people complaining that it doesn't have a manual box. I don't know if you've ever driven many cars with 1,000 horsepower. You don't want a manual gearbox in a car like that. You want to just have your hands on the paddles.
As soon as this car comes out, within 2 minutes, someone will do a mod and it'll just have the massive chop idle.
The rumours is in testing, it runs sub. You would have to think the thing would run sub 10s at probably 150.
Probably 150 plus. And the first time they took it to Nürburgring, it went over 200 miles an hour, which is 320 Ks. So she's gonna fly. As usual, the expert comments went straight onto it. Team U Lamborghini, impressive performance for sure, but it just doesn't feel like a Corvette to me.
What's this guy basing this what off, exactly?
I don't know, it's because it's not front engine anymore. I mean, it hasn't been front engine for a while now.
I tell you what, it's got nothing on that classic C4. Synthwave special.
Look, it's going to cost around the same as a loaded Denali Duramax Dually. That's a bit of a tongue twister.
What the truth is, Gerardo, if this thing came down under, now it won't, unless someone imports it and converts it, but if this thing comes down under, it's going to rival some prices of the 70 series Land Cruiser, because I've just dumped the V8 in that.
Why do we need so much power? These cars are plain stupidity, in my opinion.
What? Hang on. Where did you see that comment? What is that on? Is that actually on a performance car?
They all are. The only articles I looked up on this were like car groups. I didn't go to electric car forums to find this crap, as if they're going to post about this car.
Global boiling.
They'll be just posting about something about the world burning.
Families running from the flames.
Nobody needs this car, Gerardo. Nobody needs it.
Look, right on cue. What's the next comment? Who needs this? When and where will you even use this? Unless it's a dedicated track car, this is insanity.
Disappointed!
Why is it any different to buying a Ferrari?
It's a poor man's Lamborghini, it says it.
Cool, old tech rear wheel drive, this is going to run 11s. Well, as was stated, that first, just a bit of testing, it did, they just said 9s, so.
Have you seen how fast, like a brand new high-end 911, what it does, it's 0 to 60 mile an hour with their BS 1 foot rollout. Have you seen the numbers they get out of them?
I'm done.
That transmission ain't going to take that long term. Did I mention EVs don't have transmissions?
Blah, 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 blah.
No one cares about your EV, you toss bag. So where do we go from here though? Maybe I'm the outlier, but I miss the days of 380 horsepower shootout wars, when 12s were fast. These 9-second factory cars are cool, but they're not streetable. Yeah, the 1990s called, mate. No one cares about 12-second cars anymore.
See, nobody cares.
Yeah, well, back in the 90s, you had to modify your car, a lot of cars, a fair bit to get into the 12s. And now there's a lot of cars that will run that out of the box.
Are we clear?
The older you get, you drive more cars. When you were young, a 12-second car, and obviously a 12-second tiny car feels a lot different to a 12-second taxi. 12-second car's not really feeling too quick these days, is it?
Fresh merch alert for the Skyline fans, R34. Check it out in the fullBOOST shop. It's great to see in the USA Ford and Chevy domestic going strong. But what are you guys' thoughts on Chevy bringing out a 1,000 horsepower street car? Is it insanity or is it
This is like the power war of the 70s revisited.
Here at fullBOOST Garage, we are now offering full mechanical repairs and upgrades. From logbook servicing, brakes and clutches, even engine conversions. We have competitive pricing. For all inquiries, hit us up today.